Hi, lady. Hi, ladies. Welcome back to Sister Land Investors. For those that are new, my name is Elizabeth. Today, we're going to go over five key points, or not five exactly. I went over a couple key points for the land investing in today's market. I know a lot of interest rates are high. The economy is not certain for a lot of you ladies, and asking me ways of what they could do with land or how land could help them out. And I do want to touch base on that because I think that's huge. So, for those ladies that are new, we purchase land and turn around and sell it. We keep some and lease it, keep some and let cows graze over it. There's some opportunities that have gotten requests to contain like bee boxes for beehives, bee boxes to produce honey, to sell to like HEB and Costco and Whole Foods and things of that nature. So I've gotten a request on those as well. But most of the time, the majority of the time, what we do is we purchase it and then we turn around and sell it for a profit. However, with everything that's going on and land is staying longer on the market, we have leased and done like small little leases on cow gazing the property for a couple months. That's one of the ideas that I want to touch base for you ladies that are or gentlemen that are in the land investing industry. So we're going to cover some creative ways. The other ideas that I've gotten from other investors, ladies like yourself, is creating tiny homes. So if you want to put a manufactured home or tiny homes, the most important thing for you ladies to think about is you have electricity, utilities. It's important for you to have utilities because that's what's going to allow people to come and rent your tiny homes for like a short Airbnb, for you to lease it out for a year or two. These are great ideas, but I guess for us, we don't put utilities in, but it's great for you ladies that are investing in properties that do have utilities. So if you already have utilities in your property, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. You contact the counties and ask them what you need to put utilities on your property. So it's very easy, very simple process. You do have to make a couple phone calls if you don't have utilities to get them started. It's an up cost up front to get all that, but you could profit in the end, in the back end. So always think of ways, get creative of what you could do with these lands. So some of you ladies have been talking about putting tiny homes, making them RV parks, glamping. All these are fabulous ideas. Others have done like farm investing, allowing people to go plant uh, like herbs and put chicken boxes there so they could produce eggs and things of that nature. You've gotten very creative, which I absolutely love. I've talked to other investors that all they do is focus on land where they could park their cars. Let me give you an example. Here in Houston, a lot of people live out in the suburbs but come to work, especially now in 2025. A lot of people have to go back to work. A lot of them did move out to the country or to the suburbs due to being able to work from home these last couple 4 years, and then now they have to go back. So what they've done is they park their cars in a huge parcel of land, and they pay a monthly fee, and they either carpool or there's buses, shuttle buses that go and pick them up. So people have gotten very creative on what to do with their land. So that's a huge one. And that's one that I'm considering because we have one off of a highway that's traffic, heavily trafficked. So it hasn't sold. So I was telling my husband, maybe that's one of the ideas we could do. These guys use that property. They don't want to sell it. So they use it to let others park there and people carpool. And I think that's a great idea because you do not have to put utilities. You don't have to put uh, electricity or anything of that nature because you're there early 7 in the morning and probably 7 at night to pick up and drop off your cars. So I think that's a great idea. I would like to talk to people that do that. So if you do that, leave me a message because I'm so curious on what other things you would find important for that land. I know the surface has to be clear. If it's paved, you do like that. I've heard that. I know some people don't mind gravel. I guess it's specific to each of your needs. So I would like to hear more on that because I think that's extremely simple. You don't have to do much to it. Um, the tiny homes. I know a couple of you ladies are doing tiny homes. My kid was actually watching YouTube and he was watching, I think here in Houston is Unspeakable. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's kind of like a Mr. Beast, but here in Houston, he's smaller. And he purchased a property. Was it him or Mr. Beast? I might get him confused. So please excuse me. I'm not expert on these YouTuber kids, but they purchased a small little home, manufactured home from Amazon. Like it's tiny, 800 square feet, less than 1,000 square feet. They ship it to you and you just unfold it and build it. And it has a kitchen, a bedroom, a restroom. It has everything, which was, I was fascinated when my kid told me that. He's like, Mom, you should buy this and put it in your lot. And I'm like, it's not a bad idea. Maybe we should. And they're super inexpensive. If you haven't seen them, you should go to Amazon and just put one of these little tiny homes. And they're like, some are 8,000, some are 20,000. It just depends. Some have patios upstairs where you can see sunset. Is They get so creative. I wish maybe I should pull one up and show you. Tiny homes, I think they're called. No, those are for. Okay, so let me give you an example. This is less than 7,000, 6,659. You see it there? Ah, okay, maybe I should pull it out right there. I'm blurring out because I have a hot mess in the back. And it does come with like a dorm. The room is kind of like a dorm. Like if I put my finger, it'll go. It's not very clear, but you could go to Amazon, put these little manufactured homes and they build it up. They, here, right there. Okay, no, it's not, this is not good. Okay, ladies, you Google it, you'll see it. It's on Amazon. You could buy a little tiny home for like 6,000, 7,000, especially if you have water. Well, especially if you have utilities, it's extremely easy for you to purchase one of these and make it like a weekend getaway for other people. And if you could purchase a couple, that's even better. Like you could have two or three, lease them out, Airbnb. Some people like to go out to the country, camp out, just get away, be in nature, see all the stars at night. Like it's beautiful. Just use your imagination. Can you imagine just being out there with your kids, camping, going fishing if you have a little pond? I mean, these are all little things you could do to enhance your property and your land so you don't have to turn around and flip it so quick. You lease it, make money off of it, and the people could take advantage and do their little weekend getaway with their families, build these memories. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful for, especially out in the country, hill country here in Texas. We have this hill country that's spectacular, which I love to go out to once in a while. And I think it's a great way for you to enjoy it with your family and then leasing it out to other families or college students that want to get away for the weekend. Um, Other ways, farm to table movement. Okay, so farming, I think that's becoming huge now with everything, all the prices going up, inflation. A lot of ladies have also requested, well, not just ladies, but families, if they could put um, chickens in my land. And I said, yes, you're more than welcome to. You're allowed to put all this. If you want to put your goats and your chickens, that's fine. But know that I'm selling this property. So as soon as I sell it, I'm going to let you know so you can get your chickens back and your goats back, or cows, whatever they have grazing on my property. And I do lease it for a small amount. If the people are nice and they clean out and they brush out, I a lot of times don't lease it out. I just let them do it because they keep my property clean. So it's up to you. You can get creative, you could do whatever you think is best for you and your property. But there are a lot of people that are looking for extra land to grow crops, organic vegetables, eggs, goat milk, things of this nature. It's huge. You just have to find that community, which they're out there. There's Facebook groups out there. If you need help, DM us. We'll be happy to help you. But this is a great way to one, create something for the community there around there that they could use and grow their own organic crops. And if anything, it's going to enhance your land because you're clearing it out to get to what they need to grow their crops, to have, I don't know, lavender, um, cilantro, lemons, avocados, peach trees, pecan trees. I mean, these people out there get very creative. And if you could lease your land short term for this or long term, I think it's a great way for you to create generational wealth. You don't want to sell your land. You don't need to sell your land, but you want to create a side hustle, not a side hustle because it's not a hustle, but a side income source. This is huge for all of you ladies that you could do. The land is very cheap for you to buy. I'm getting messages. Sorry about that. Oh, I have to take my dogs to get groomed. That was the message. So it's a low cost. It's not like purchasing a home or purchasing commercial properties. You buy the land. If you need money, let us know. Again, we work with a lot of investors. We are investors ourselves. So let us know. We'll help you out with all that. And then you could just lease it for a couple of years. Land value goes up. I mean, you're seeing it right now. Your property taxes probably went up, your land value and your home went up. And I think it's crucial for you to take a note of that. Developing land for RVs, ATVs, hunting grounds, fishing ponds. That's another arena and another source of people that you're going to attract if you do all that. Okay, you don't want to have cows, horses, goats, chickens. You could do a recreational park and lease it out to RVs. You could create little. There's a property that we went to go see in Florida that had a lot of steep hills. And I told my husband, like, this would be great for you hardcore RV, um, four wheelers, off roading, because it had little ponds, mud ponds where you could go into. People could go hunting there. I mean, it's a huge one, almost 100 acres. So there's so many things you could do there, and people pay money to go ride their ATVs off-roading, go off-roading, hunting, fishing. All these are recreational ideas. You have a group of people that are passionate about it. So take advantage of that. We spoke in our last podcast with a lady that does RV parks. She purchases RV parks. If you have not heard, I think this is huge. Ladies, this is huge. If you have the money or you have investors and you could partner up with someone or even with her, she has a fund. Go listen to I think it was the last podcast. Go listen to her. It's amazing what she's done in less than 4 years, buying old RV parks from people that don't want to upkeep it anymore, and how she and her team enhance it and just take it to another level. There's so much you could do in an RV park. The beauty about RV parks is that people come and go. It's people go there with their families, they stay there on the weekends, camp out. You could create a laundry mat. I think she said she had even like a little pond where they have little boats that go up to their little restaurant, which I thought that was super creative. A restaurant that opens up where boats could come in and order their drinks, order food real quick, hamburgers, french fries, whatever, a salad, whatever you're into. And that's another source of income. And I just thought that was amazing. They rent out their little ATVs to go from one home to another, RV park to another to go visit friends or family. I think she got super creative with that. And I think it's huge. They could have meditation, yogas. There's so much you could do, like on a campground when you have RV parks. These people love the outdoors. So if you could just get creative with art, outdoor activities for the kids, a playground, slides, a pole, install a pole. Those are all things that you could do. A little yoga. If you have yoga instructors nearby, have them come out on a weekend or twice a week to go do yoga instructions, and you just charge a little extra for that. I think that was a great idea. Nature trails where they could go walking. There's so much you could do. You want to be close enough to a city so they could go. For example, in Florida, a lot of people like to travel and stop. That's us. We like to stop somewhere in the beaches and just hang out by the beach 2 or 3 days and then go to the parks, Universal Studios, Disneyland. So you could get creative, see what's around the city you want to purchase a land, and just have another point where your visitors are already traveling to, but they could stop at your place and stay there for a night or two. I think that's great. It doesn't have to be, I got a question here. Does it have to be on high traffic roads or highways? It doesn't have to be on high traffic roads. I mean, it helps if you're in a high traffic road or close to a high traffic road because it's easy access. But I would say not always. For glamping, we have gone out in the middle of nowhere in Zion Park, National Park, and we went in the middle of nowhere. There's no restaurants, there's no Walgreens or pharmacies or anything nearby. We're like at least 2 or 3 hours away from civilization. But the kids and I, we loved it. They had everything there. They had their own little store there, salads, hamburgers, barbecue. They had their own cooks, campfires, and we love the experience and we want to go back. So to answer that question, no, you don't have to. It helps if you're like 2, 3 hours away from something big, but you don't have to. I don't think it's necessary. People love adventure. People like to, especially these people that like to go out and camp and adventure outside. I think they'll drive 2 to 3 hours outside a major city to go stay at your place. The other, the other things that you could do with your land is if you have this property, you can make it for weddings, for parties. A lot of Instagrammers are looking for new places to go take pictures. So if you can make it captivating for them to come out and get creative and let them put their things on your piece of property, I think it's huge. So I work with a lot of people locally here that have wedding and events like quinceañeras and things of that nature. You could set out where people could come out and do their whole event there. Birthday parties, anniversary celebrations, especially if you have utilities, always think of what you could do with that. So if you have little cabins where they could stay and host a party and have catering, like ladies, you could get so creative with all this. You could have a whole wedding out in the hill country, overlooking the mountains, beautiful on sunset. Just imagine it, and have the little chapel there where they could do the pictures, do their bows, and then have the sitting arrangement kind of cleared out and place where they could go and have their reception covered in case it rains. You do want it covered, or where they could set up tents, just something leveled, and then on also on the hill. I think it's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. Weddings and parties, corporate events, weekend getaways for the companies. I think that's huge. So, yes, those event spaces are great. Other things that you could do, pop up events, market, festivals, outdoor movies, storage. Again, if you have an imagination and you want to get creative, this is a great way to just, it's like empty canvas for me. When we go out and look at property and I see it, my mind starts going crazy, like all the things you could do or lease it to or sell it to people that do storage. There's people here in Texas that like to purchase just raw land to put storages, wine storage, furniture storage, any type of storage, or create small spaces for workplaces outside in the city, small pavilions, things of that nature. So these are all ways that you could do different things that you could do with your land. What was the other one? Boat storage, boat storage. Okay, so let me tell you, we've had a property close to the Gulf of Mexico, which is now called the Gulf of America. I don't know, but we had properties out there, and we did. The person that purchased that property, it was off of a big highway. They did it to store their boats and their fishing. A lot of people don't want to carry them back home. They have a place where they could store their boats and their fishing equipment. And that's what they did with the land, which I thought it was very creative. I had never even thought of that. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Until they bought it. They're like, this is what we're going to do. And I was like, that's a great idea because it was shaped, had a lot of frontage on the front, road frontage, and then in the back it just kind of went like a pizza, like a diamond shape. So they said that's what they were going to do there, just store boats, store anything fishing related. They like to do fishing, so I just thought that was great. So yes, that's another thing you could do. Land flipping is less competitive than house flipping. Yes, the returns are pretty good. We do like it. The improvements, yeah, well, for everything that we just said, you do need improvements. It's great for you to clear it out, have someone clear it out, level certain areas. You don't want it all level. If you have hills and rolling natural hills, you don't want to level them out. I think it just gives it character, dimension. You could do so much on the top, and people could use it to go down for whatever reason, make a little pond. There, I personally wouldn't level the whole thing out. Yes, you have to make sure the zoning. So that's a good question you brought up. Zoning is very important because some zonings you cannot do wedding events or RV parks or glamping sites. So always call the county. It's very simple. You just call the county, ask for zoning, ask for what this land, can you do commercial or can you rent it out for how long you want to, short-term rentals, long-term rentals. Get all that squared away before you purchase the land, especially if you know that you want to do like an RV park or a glamping site. You want to know this in advance. So do all your homework up front. So that's a good point you brought in, the zoning. The housing shortage and the interest rates going up. So, yes, we hear this, especially in Houston. There's a housing shortage. More people are looking for homes because people are moving into Texas and Florida and other states that are high in demand, but the interest rates are still high. So what you could do, ladies, you could partner up with other investors and self finance. You be the bank, you have the land, you want to sell it, you could lease to sell, self finance. You ask for the interest rates. The interest rates right now are high. So maybe you could profit off of this by either being the same, because a lot of banks don't lend money or finance on land. They don't see the value, which is good for us. It's good for us land investors because you could become the bank. You could say, okay, I'll lend you the 50,000 or the 100,000, depending, and pay me so much over time. Don't take advantage. I think you want these relationships to last a long time. So do not take advantage. If the interest rates right now for the homes are like 7%, I don't know what they are. I haven't purchased a home in a while, but let's say it's 7 or 8% interest rate. You want to stay there or come a little lower. Don't get too greedy. I mean, you just have land. So maybe starting at 6% or 5.5, and do it for as long as you want to do it where you feel comfortable. I think it's a huge opportunity for many, because people are looking for homes. They just can't afford the homes. And so maybe they just want to go park their mobile home somewhere, or build a tiny home, or build their own home for less. So this is a great opportunity for us land investors to take advantage, because even though it's sad to see that the interest rates are going up and the mortgages are going up and all this, but it's good. It's a huge opportunity. See it as an opportunity. Don't don't get freaked out. I think it's a great thing for us. Um, Oh, I would like to talk to you. Someone here mentioned they do development for retirements, tailor for older adults. I think this is huge. We need to talk. I think this is huge because people are getting older. We're all getting up seasoned, as I like to say. I don't like to say older, I just say more seasoned, like wine, right? Yes, that's a huge opportunity. They want to feel that they're part of the community. So building community for retirements, I think it's huge. I would like to learn more about that. So we need to speak to you. Yes, having like activities for the elderlies, like where they don't go to a nursing home, but going to a community where not everyone's your age, but they're up there, like maybe 70 and older, where they have nurses on site in that community, but it's still their home. They have their kitchen, they have their own bedroom, they have everything they need. They have a small little grocery probably in that community. They have little golf carts where they could drive around the neighborhood. They have yoga. Like, this is very creative. Yes. I think that's huge. I think thinking about the elderly, because we're all going there and we don't want to be put in nursing homes, but being put in a community where everyone's thriving, eating healthy, have growing their own crops. I think it's huge because it gets them to do something. So just think about this. This is good. Thank you for saying that. So they have a piece of property. You build a community for elderly. The family puts them there. They have a doctor, they have nurses, they have an emergency little center there. Anything they need there, the pharmacies, groceries, but they could grow their own crops. They could grow their, they have little animals, maybe like a little farm. All this helps you stay young and active. And if they get to work the farms, they get to pet the horses, they get to pet the goats. All this is crucial for all of us, not only the elderly. I think it's crucial for everyone. We should all have that community. And then at night, having a little site where they could come and do yoga together early in the morning, drink coffee together, have people come and talk to them about their mental wellness, health wellness. I think it's huge. This is great. I want to work with you. So, yes, that's a great one. Building community, outdoor classrooms, nature for children and families. Yes, those are, guys, you're getting so creative. Outdoor classroom and nature schools for children and families is huge. Now more than ever, like with all this technology and AI and people being so consumed in their devices, like staying on their phones, their computers constantly, and creating that space and that environment for them to be out in nature, learning out in nature, like getting the kids involved in growing their own little, I don't know, tomatoes and lemons and avocados. I think that's huge. And it's a great way for families to come together and connect. Farming, crafting, wellness. Yes, 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 yes. I like all those. I think you got the hit on what you could do with your land. And you can buy it and resell it like we do, but getting creative on what to do with the land that's not moving quick enough. I know I told you people here before, and I'll say it again, like keeping land for yourself and your family in the future is huge. So if you do this, you want to keep properties here and there. I think it's huge. You should. I Highly recommended. And these are all ideas of what you could do with that piece of property where you're still making money off of it. It's not like a home that you could rent it for a year or two, but you could lease it to all these things that we just mentioned. And if you have other ideas that we did not mention here or came up, please share them with us. We like to know. And for the gentleman doing the community for the elderly, I want to talk to them. And for the gentleman or lady that did the parking for people to park to go into work in the city, I think that's huge. I would like to talk to you because I have a property that I'm interested in maybe considering doing that because it's level. There's not much there. I don't have a lot of utilities. I think there's like electrical pole in front and that's it. So the parking I think would be huge. Um, so yeah, these are great ideas. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. If you have other ideas on what you could do with your land to generate some kind of little income on the side, let us know. We're happy to hear. And ladies, thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you on the next podcast. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.